build a team of dreamers. As I said, you start from top. Without a dreamer, without a business case, without domain experts, your project will fail. Come what may, how strong the model is. Yeah. Then probably at the early stage, look at products, interesting products like self-service products and R and Python and open source stuff. Yeah. Because it helps so that you're not leveraging a lot. You're not taking a lot of financial risk to get to success. Yeah. And then continue to pilot, continue to fine tune the data set, keep training for months. Do not overestimate the strength of a model and represent ROI and go back to number one. So basically continue the loop. Yeah. And do not close a project without celebrating the ROI. And this is another improvement area for India data science. We do not look at financial benefits of projects. Yeah. That's my roadmap.
Yeah. That's a great one. So once you create the framework for successful data science use case, can we quickly, because I think we have got 2 sessions left and Dipesh is geared for the demo, hands-on demo in the second half of the session, whereas Dharmesh is going to do a quick dashboard session as well for the benefit of the audience. Can we quickly talk about how these frameworks for successful data science use cases can be created for BFSI domain, so that Dipesh can actually show them how you can actually create those successes quickly. Pallab, go ahead, Pallab. Can you hear me? I think we lost Pallab somehow, but I think we will give him a minute. So before he joins us again, let me quickly introduce our other speaker, Dipesh Malviya. Dipesh is an in-house data scientist, comes with statistical experience and more than 9 years of solving business problem using maths and technology. So handing over to Dipesh. Welcome, Dipesh. Take it.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. So thanks Shyam for the great introduction. Now, as we have seen with respect to BFSI, there have been some challenges and the insights which have been deliberated by Pallab, those were quite enlightening, and even the challenges and all. What I basically want to highlight in the slides which have been mentioned by Pallab also about the lack of priority on data, the 3 things that he has mentioned initially, the skill set paradox and the expectation mismatch. So considering these major roadblocks, my objective would be to give an introduction of the changing paradigms and also the roles and the technologies which are going to play the role. Yeah. So now with respect to banking and finance, if we talk about the next big evolution would be digitization, and these particular 4 pillars which are being mentioned over the slide is being mentioned by Carly J. Edoin, the research director of Gartner. Hello. Yeah. So yeah. So these 4 pillars are quite important. So this. So yeah. So right, I was mentioning these 4 pillars when it comes to digitization, and the successful data strategy is required to go ahead in a meticulous manner. So we have in the audience a lot of technologists who would believe that technology comes to the fore as one of the key components. Of course, when we're talking about data strategy, then technology is a part, but data takes the center stage. As we have talked about lack of priority on data, so data here also, when I'm talking about data strategy, data takes the center stage, wherein we have seen cost, quality, and size of data are the key reasons for project failures. So enterprise information management with respect to data takes the major major area of work. Then comes people wherein we are looking at empowering people to play active collaborative role and also assuming responsibility. Hello. Yeah, am I audible? Yeah. So I was mentioning about the four pillars of as prescribed by Gartner, which talks about data, people, process, and technology. Data being at the center stage, one of the most important feature, most important pillar. Then comes people, wherein we are empowering them to take the responsibilities and do the information management and provisioning. We have to create a process wherein dependencies with respect to data can be mapped in the most optimal way, and the technology wherein which act as enablers to boost the operations in the highly integrated and seamless fashion. So when you talk about banking and financial services, I have put it in the most simplest manner in the front office, mid office, and back office operations. But the thing is, these are still happening in the in a siloed fashion. None of the data is basically talking to each other. So when we are talking about enterprise management, then we are looking at dissolidification of disparate data sources and enhanced complexity of analysis, which is basically the vertical and horizontal integration of data. So how is it basically going to take place? What we need basically is more data curation, more data enrichment, and data lineage. So the missing ingredients in these would be enterprise level data literacy, data and knowledge ownership, and employee empowerment. Now when we need these things, the traditional technologies which are there, although they are evolving, but we need as mentioned earlier, as the lack of shortage of talent. So we need the in-house capabilities within us, within the enterprise to take the role and do the job for us. So self-service analytics is the game changer, wherein self-service analytics is characterized by tools with basic analytic capabilities and an underlying data model that has been simplified or scaled down for ease of understanding and straightforward data access. Now, when you're talking about self-service analytics, who are going to do it basically? So, citizen data scientist. This is the name, which is the acronym which is being provided by the Gartner, and these people are the wishful thinkers, as mentioned by Pallab. Those are characterized by their unique perspective of individual business area with a contextualized vision of the organization and an appetite for what matters relative to the business priorities. So think of it as a situation wherein you have a person in-house, and he is very good at his business understanding, but has a dependency on IT department to do the basic querying in the databases and get the data. So once this power has been transferred to these business guys, he and those guys would be able to do the analysis on their own and get the results. So that is what we are talking about: creating a environment wherein can be workable solutions can be designed by the business users themselves. So when we're talking about this citizen data scientist coming into the fore, Gartner has given some really good predictions with respect to self-service analytics and citizen data scientist. Importantly, I would like to highlight on one important thing, that the quantum of work which is being generated, the quantum of analysis which is being generated as of now by data scientists, that will be surpassed in the times to come, and most of them would be done by citizen data scientists. So what the organizations would need augmented data discovery capabilities that is the need of the hour. So that actually leads me to our tool, our focus area, where we are talking about one of the key tool in the times to come, which is fastest emerging self-service data science platform, as provided as endorsed by Gartner. It has come in the leaders quadrant when it comes to ability to execute and the completeness of vision. So now when we're talking about an enterprise solution, we are talking about when we're talking about an enterprise solution, we are talking about uh, scalability. We are talking about uh, massive implementation of data processes. So these are the important components of Alteryx, as an Alteryx Connect, which is basically is used for data lineage and data asset cataloging. Uh, Alteryx Gallery, which is used for sharing the applications through web interface, wherein insights can be shared across a large audience. Alteryx Promote, which perform the model development with enterprise-ready, highly scalable, clustered architecture for production, and to do this and to make it happen, Alteryx server will be working, which powers the basic security and handling mechanism. So who are going to benefit from it when we're talking about an enterprise application? So IT guys, basically they would be relieved from the data integration work, which right now is there with which is right now handled by IT. So they would be more involved in the more technical aspects. Data scientist, it's going to affect them a lot in terms of the reduction of work when it comes to data preparation. Almost like 60% of the data preparation work, 60% of the entire life cycle goes into data preparation. Then they come the line of then the people which are there in the line of business. We talked about wishful thinkers. We talked about people who can make who can do the who can create the workable solutions. So they get the power to reach and share insights with others through applications. So I'll just mention about the platform in a brief. I would like Sham to basically mention about the massive implementations of Alteryx in a nutshell.
Yeah, so Dipesh, Alteryx has been used by several leading organizations throughout the all sort of domains. Just to give you an idea, here are some of the customers in retail space. You have the Best Buys of the world. In restaurant space, you have Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's of the world, and so on and so forth. Primarily in the BFSI domain, Western Union like companies are using Alteryx for risk. We have our own DC client in the form of Bajaj Alliance, who is trying to migrate some of their legacy software such as SaaS, and giving analytics capabilities to business owners to showcase and transform their analytics for faster analytics function. So I think giving guys hands-on demonstration would make more sense. So let's start the demo.
Yeah, thanks, Sham, to have a brief idea about you know the implementations and the key enterprises who are using this. So I'll just mention about the platform per se, and show you about the platform. Okay, so this is what the blank platform looks like, Alteryx, wherein we have a lot of tools which are available in the entire platform. There are around 200 tools. Hello, can tool I was mentioning. And so towards the extreme left, we have all the data sources, uh, all the data sources in the visual, as you can see, and they come with yeah. Yeah, so yes, so I'll be sharing my screen also, so that would be better at the same time. So I was explaining about the data per se, the Alteryx tool. So yeah, it's getting loaded. hold on a second. It will be visible to you. Yeah. So I believe you can see you can see the screen, right? Great. So yeah. So I was mentioning about tool. Okay. Um, this is the tool which looks like, and there are almost like 200 plus tools available in the platform, and those are grouped with respect to certain categories, and quite easy to understand based upon the functionalities that they provide. Say preparation, join, pass, transform, which is used for preparation and blending, and then you have where you can enrich the data and then analyze the data. When you're talking about analyzing the data, we have most of the generally used algorithms, pre-built algorithms, algorithms which are being used. Those are pre-built in the in the Alteryx platform. It's just a matter of dragging and dropping and just do the analysis. I'll be sharing with you the use case, so that would be better for you understand. So let's not dwell on this a lot, and straight away get to our workflow. Okay, so this is what the workflow is all about. Just to let me know, and just to let you know about the different aspects of this particular workflow. It is used for credit scoring through predictive analytics of for loan applicants to make the decision of whether to give loan or not based on their profiles. It would give calculated assistance in deriving data-driven decisions with regards to grant of loans, while identifying slightly risky potential borrower to a safe customer, and thereby reducing the risk of lost opportunities. Um, I mean the workflow is already ran before we join, so it's already loaded. So what we have, the data per se, I'll just let you know about the data. Okay, so we have the target variable as predictability, and let's not get into as of now on the uh, data per se from the practical scenario, because this is dummy data, and it is being used to showcase the capabilities of the tool. Um, yeah, so we have creditability as basically our target variable, and then the demographic and the economic level variables for the analysis. So I have done a bit of data preparation on this, wherein some with the help of some formula building, I have created some derived variables. And to mention you, it is quite exhaustive even when we are talking about any particular tool. Say for example, if I'm talking about formula tools, so it has formulas almost almost like 200 formulas which are there, and those are being categorized under specific heads, as in finance. Especially for finance, there are some specific formulas which you can do, and maths and all and so forth, right? So I have done a bit of data, data munging. And since we are dealing with predictive analytics, so I have for data science, I mean people who are in the data science really agree on this. For testing the models and training, we need to split the data and go ahead. So that's what I have done. I have, and it being a classifier, I have used four different classifiers to generate the results. Obviously, we generally don't get the results only with one algorithm. So as I mentioned previously, it's just a matter of dragging and dropping, the data and doing it. So when I'm actually selecting a particular algorithm, it gives me some model customization. Say in the decision tree, I have selected the target variable and other variables of my choice, and I can do the complexity parameters configurations and go ahead and then some model customization, as in for the splitting, what minimum number of records I should take into consideration, the number of folds for the cross validation, and so on and so forth. So quite scientific in nature. Of these, whatever is being required for the algorithms to tune, all parameters are available. It gives me a very good report. So since this kind of must be very much familiar with most of the people who are coming from data science. This is an based report. So basically, our engine is running behind Alteryx. Okay, so you get the results which are being generally given by R. So now, since I have taken this four predictive algorithms and done bit of model customization, I would like to basically understand which model does the better job. So I have this model comparison tool available with me, which gives me a very detailed model comparison reports. So with major performance measures, and I can understand, okay, random forest is doing a pretty good job as compared to others. Not only this, I get some beautiful graphs, as in say ROC curve clearly denotes that random forest is doing a pretty good job. So once my model is done, I have done the scoring of it and got the results. So this is then further I have done a bit of a bit of data munging and try to understand how what is the accuracy of the model. So it gives me a understanding, as in it is going somewhere around 6%, which is okay, which is considering it's just a dummy data. So it's still around 5% fine for the thing to go ahead as of now. But what is important to let you know is about everything which I have done didn't require my effort on coding and programming, and that's what I want to basically establish. We have citizen data scientists, we have business users who would be able to do this analysis, understanding of what goes behind the algorithm is a bit of understanding which is needed. Yes, but programming as one of the key element in writing deep algorithms is something which is not required a lot over here when we're talking about Alteryx. Yes, since I mentioned about that these algorithms come with and they have R engine running behind, so you can go ahead and do the programming on your own if required. So there is an R-based tool, and it gives me all the coding thing. So people who are very much inclined towards giving coded results can do so. So we have now since in the analysis and everything, I would like to go ahead with the next the next section of our webinar, wherein since I mentioned about modeling, which takes a lot of effort and thinking with regards to fine tuning and for statistical robustness and ensure generalizability. But how to surprise the elephant in the house? We would need a comprehensive vision tool, and that sets the platform for our next stage, wherein my colleague Dharmesh Pathak will deliberate on how the model results can be integrated with applications to deliver real-time decisioning. Over here, I have actually got the results in Qlik Sense. Just dragging and dropping one of the tool which is available in the palette. I can have from the Tableau, I can send the data on the Tableau also, and it's just a matter of configuring it. And there are a lot more connectors available. I can send it to publish. I can publish to Power BI also. Again, with respect to credentials and configuration, it can be sent. So it's damn simple. Over to Dharmesh, who would be explaining.
Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat section so that we can answer them then and there, or we can cover it towards the end of the session. So Dharmesh is going to show you some tool dashboards.
Yeah, thanks, Sham. Hello, friends. My name is Dharmesh Pathak, and I am a data scientist here at Alpha Analytics for past 1 year, and my experience include in different technologies. They are R, Python, Alteryx, and BI tools. So as Dipesh has shown us that there are different connectors available in the Alteryx in order to connect to different BI tools, which include the Power BI and many more. But we think that Qlik sense is the best choice due to some outstanding features. And so we are going to discuss these features. Okay, first. So as the Qlik Sense is a self-service analytic tool. So when we say that it's a self-service, it means that it requires minimum amount of uh, uh, technical knowledge in order to create a visualization. And after a few clicks, one can import the data in Qlik Sense engine. Okay, and few drag and drop them create the visualization. Okay, so this is one of the very important features as far as the Qlik Sense is concerned, which is not available with other BI tools available in the market. Okay, and so the other important feature of Qlik Sense is it has its own patented engine. Okay, they themselves have created this engine which does a few of the outstanding features. For example, it has its own compression engine. Okay, which compress the data sometimes up to 1/10 of original data. Okay, then it has its own memory management. When we say memory management, that means as the data is compressed, and it relates the data different data source dynamically. Okay, that's the another feature called associative engine. Okay, as the data is brought into the Qlik Sense engine. Okay, the relationship amongst different data source are suggested by Qlik Sense itself. Okay, we will be showing this particular feature as we go along, where I'm going to do some practical demo. Okay, apart from this Qlik Sense engine, which is QX engine, has capability to utilize the CPU cores. Okay, when we I say the CPU cores, that means it is using the multi-threading concept within QX engine. So the responsiveness of the responsiveness of the Qlik Sense dashboard is quite quick compared to other other BI tool available in the market. Okay, so apart from this, it also has some of the outstanding features. For example, the smart search and smart filter. I'm going to show this feature as well as we do the practical demo. Well, apart from this, the Qlik Sense has 3 editions, which include Qlik Sense Desktop, Qlik Sense Cloud, and Qlik Sense Enterprise, which can be implemented in enterprise environment. Okay, so and the, as we can see in a particular plot where the Gartner has put the Qlik Sense into the this particular quadrant where only 3 leaders are available, and this has been happening for past 8 consecutive years. Okay, so that's a good thing about the Qlik Sense. Okay, so the next slide tells us about the different customer who are using the Qlik Sense as their solution. Okay, and one can see here that these are the financial service company which they are using the Qlik Sense as their solution in their enterprise. So there are total more than 37 customers who are using Qlik Sense as their BI solution. So I would like to give some hands-on as far as the capability of Qlik Sense is concerned. I would be showing you some of the feature we just discussed a few minutes back. Okay, so as can be seen here that I have brought in these 2 data sources. Okay, they are CSV and Excel file respectively, and I would like to show the feature of association here. Okay, and if I this particular bubble, okay, over this particular data set. Okay, so here we can see that this linkage is established automatically. Okay, based on some common attribute here in this case the customer number. But as it's quite intuitive that if the column name are identical in two data sources, then it's uh, automatically the linkage is established. But the ClickSense is smart enough to even if their column name are not identical, but their column values are identical, say up to 90 to 90, then the ClickSense give a suggestion of possible association or linkage. So you can think in the environment where there are more than 200 columns available, and you need to find the association or linkage amongst different data sources. So in such scenario, this associative engine can help us tremendously. So as we can see here, these are the different data connectors available as far as the ClickSense is concerned. This is not the complete list as of now. Okay, but we can download the connector as we required from the ClickSense community. It's a very powerful community where they help us to get some extension which can be downloaded on respective environment. And as one can see that the connectors are ranges from RDBMS database to cloud environment and Hadoop environment. So one can connect to different data sources using these connectors. Okay, so as
Why don't you jump into a quick demo and show how a typical dashboard looks like for one of the examples you might have.
yeah, sure, definitely I will be sharing the dashboard we have created so far. So as Dipesh has explained, and he has created some credit risk model within the Alteryx environment, and from there he pushes some data into the ClickSense data file, and that data file is being used here. Okay, and the credit risk we would like to study the credit risk from the demographic attribute perspective. Okay, and these attributes are occupation length, marital status, and whether the customer have defaulted in the past or they have paid the loan, okay, without being default. So these are the some of the demographic attributes, and we would like to study the credit worthiness from this perspective. So let's select one of the attribute. I am selecting here the whether my customers are defaulted previously or not. So if I select it, then I as one can see that the dashboard is taking shape according to the selection I just have made. So here all those customers are customers data is available who were defaulted in the past. Okay, and further I filter the data by saying that there is no guarantor for them. So let's study the dashboard from this perspective. So as can be seen in the very first plot, where see that the basically this particular plot tells us about the credit worthiness versus the tenure of loan in months. Okay, so as one can see here that the credit worthiness is below the threshold value from the initial 6 months itself. Okay, and this particular plot tells us that the age bracket wise the credit worthiness predicted credit worthiness. Here we can see that this particular age gap has more than 90% of default, and this particular age bracket they are most likely to get defaulted. So we can see here that very interesting insights are coming out of it. Okay, so as can be seen.
So really sorry guys, there was some technical issue, but now I think hopefully everyone can see the screen. So far, Dharmesh has explained how Dipesh, the workflow which was created by Dipesh in order to understand the riskiness of a customer. That insights are brought over into Qlik Sense dashboard, which Dharmesh is explaining you on this particular. So since we have got, we are done with the. And I hope that you guys can spend 5 more additional minutes where Dharmesh can quickly wrap it up.
Okay. So here, as we have seen that as per the selection I just made, which is, the customer were defaulted previously and they don't have any guarantor. So here, this particular graph is giving us some of the very good insights, which may help us in creating some of the business rules which may be operationalized. So if we look at this particular plot, then it says that for this particular age bracket, this red portion which says that they are basically a defaulted portion. So it is covering more than 90% of the entire this bar. So we can say that, they are high risk profile customers. Okay, and if we particularly look at this particular age bracket, okay, they are absolutely going to default. So we need to come up with some of the business rule which can help bank to lower their risk. Okay, so that's all from my side, and thanks for your time and your patience. Thanks.
I hope, guys, that was useful. Webinar because we had registrations from various type of stakeholders from BFSI domain. So it made sense to cover as many variables, as many things possible in this webinar. That's where we started with the landscape of what is happening in the BFSI domain when it comes to data science and analytics. Then we went to self-service analytics, where you can identify, transform, and show the results, and then create consumable dashboards. Consumable analytics solutions will be consumed by the leaders of the organization to make data-driven decisions. So this entire process can be quickly implemented within any organization, any organization from even from a BFSI space, and you can create a data-driven impact. Whether it is whether it is related to the growth of the organization, whether it is related to sales challenges, or whether it is related to bottom line challenges when in terms of business excellence, process improvement, and improving the margins. I hope that you guys got a good understanding. As a additional, as an extension of this webinar, we would definitely like to hear from you. If you have any questions, we can quickly cover those questions. I know that we have moved past our timing, but if you have any quick questions, the panel would be more than happy to sort of answer you those questions. We again apologize for the technical challenges we faced, but when you have too many people joining in, that's the kind of problem you face. And we are quite happy we have had such a large audience who joined us today. We will be sharing, in the comment section, we'll be sharing the email address where you can reach out to us. And if you have any use cases you would like us to consult you, we would be more than happy to answer any questions, any follow-up questions you may have, and give you sort of a roadmap how you can actually create some data science and analytics success stories within your organization. With that, it's a time to wrap up. If you have any last, to put it into chat section, and the team has already opened up a feedback form. We really appreciate it if you could fill up the feedback form and share your feedback. More than happy to talk to you guys. You guys have contact details for the team. Please reach out to us and don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have for us. Thank you very much, everyone, joining us today. Enjoy the week. Bye.